My name is Mike McLaughlin, Deputy County Executive. I'll be grabbing the reins of today's meeting in absence of our honorable clerk. Are we recording? We're live. Okay, very good. Okay. With that being said, we'll move. Could I entertain a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes? Second. All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it, so the minutes are approved. So we can move into our agenda now. So we will start things off.
You want me to read off the contracts?
Yeah, why don't we,
That'd be
we're gonna
easier.
have, just due to its familiarity, we're gonna have the Commissioner of Management and Budget read off the agenda items.
All right, first item on the agenda is contract 208.
Oh, here it is, sorry.
Perfect time.
That was perfect time.
Mike read the minutes in,
We got
or
it.
passed the minutes.
I vote in favor.
Perfect.
We're just about to start the first item.
Hi.
I remember your recognition.
So we do the meeting minutes.
Yep.
You have to sign one.
This is two.
I'm just separating it out from Joe.
That's the first contract.
Yes, I've done that.
Yep.
All right.
If it doesn't count.
So first on the agenda today, we have contract number 1738-24, Department of the Sheriff's Department. The vendor is Mohawk Chevrolet. The estimated amount is $43,550.33. The estimated term is 3/1/24 to 2/28/25. The scope of service is to purchase a 2024 Chevrolet Colorado to be used within the Albany County Sheriff's Office. This is 100% county funded. I now open the floor for comments, questions.
Hi, Tina Harris with the Albany County Sheriff's Office. This is the vehicle that purchasing put out on the New York State Vehicle Marketplace. Mohawk Chevrolet was the lowest vendor to submit a bid. We are going to purchase a 2024 Chevrolet Colorado, and it's going to be used for the Albany County Sheriff's Criminal Investigations Unit.
Any other comments or questions?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Carried. Next on the agenda is contract number 1741-24, Department's Correctional Facility. The vendor is Bob Barker Company Incorporated. The estimated amount is $23,000. The estimated term is 1/1/24 to 1/31/25. The scope of service, to purchase inmate clothing at the Albany County Correctional Facility. It's 100% county funded. I now open the floor for comments or questions.
This is, Bob, we currently have a contract with Bob Barker. They're going to extend their pricing at the original RFB tabulation quoted, and they're just renewing, so we're accepting for the year.
Any other comments or questions?
No, so moved.
Entertain a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Carried. Next on the agenda is contract number 1705-24. Department is the Board of Elections. The vendor is Arnoff Moving and Storage. The estimated amount is $97,431. The estimated term is 3/1/24 through 12/31/24. The scope of service, the Board of Elections is seeking contract approval with Arnoff Moving and Storage to provide services for the pickup, delivery, and return of electronic voting machines and ballot on demand systems for the use of electorate during the federal, local, state, and general election primaries to be held in 2024. The fiscal impact is 100% to the county.
Aye.
You're up.
This contract is for Arnoff Moving and Storage for the moving of machines. When we asked for the bid, we were in anticipation of an August primary due to the redrawing of the congressional lines. We wanted to be ready for it in case it happened, which as of now, since no lawsuits have been filed, We will not be having an August primary, so this amount should be less than the $97,000.
I noticed none of the other companies have even bid on that. Is there any reason why Arnoff is the only one?
We did have 2 no bids.
Yeah.
So two were
They were unable to handle the,
Two are disqualified?
they were qualified, but they're not able to do it. because
Oh, I
of
see what you're saying.
Other obligations.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
So just a question, Kathy. So with the no primary in August, so that means there's 2 primaries, presidential,
June
the
and
June one,
November.
and then the general. So will they adjust this bid now?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so this is up to,
Up to 97.
97.
Yeah, this is an amount not to exceed.
okay.
Anything else?
And we've dealt with Arnold for years. They've been wonderful with us, so we're kind of glad that they were the only bidders.
Entertain a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion's carried. Next on the agenda is contract number 1726-24, the Board of Elections. The vendor is Phoenix Graphics, Inc. The estimated amount is $31,846. The estimated term is 2/8/24 through 11/1/24. And scope of services, they are seeking approval for a contract with Phoenix Graphics for the printing and mailing for 2 voter information cards containing assigned poll sites, dates of the election, and redistricting changes. The cost of each mailing is estimated about $15,923 for the total amount already heard, and is 100% county funded.
Commissioner Bleddy and I, this is Melissa Carmani, Commissioner Bleddy's deputy. We had decided that we wanted to send out more than the required information to the voters, plus the fact that Albany had redistricted, and we wanted to make sure that they had the information for the presidential primary on their new polling sites and their new districts. But last year, we had sent out a mailing just before the June election, was it? Yeah. And we found it to be really beneficial to the voters. The normal card that they get, which is the standard mail check card, which the state requires us to send out, a lot of people don't pay attention to it. This was a 6x11 color card. It's got way more information than the regular voter card, and we found that in order to enhance voter turnout, we wanted to do this at least twice this year. And Phoenix was the lowest bidder.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
So is that one of the ones we got today?
Yes.
Okay. Can I make a request? So there's 6 registered voters in my house, and I got 6 of them today. Is there any way we can have the vendor household the,
Yeah, that's possible.
that would be great, so we don't waste paper, we don't waste money. Thanks.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck and thank you. Next on the agenda is contract number 1691-24, Department of Sewage Treatment. Vendor is Leopard Nutmeg, Inc. The estimated amount is $22,278.91. The estimated term is 3/15/24 to 9/15/24. The scope of service is to inspect and rebuild a 150 horsepower dry pit pump motor for influent pump number 6 at the South Plant. This is 100% county funded. I open the floor for comments or questions.
Thank you. We received 2 bids in response to RFP 2020-018. Of those, Leopard Nutmeg was considered the lowest responsible bidder. Again, as you indicated, the work is for replacement or rebuild of a influent pump motor. The contract value also includes $3,000 of allowance in case there's any additional work that needs to happen once they open up the pump, or open up the motor rather.
Makes sense. Any other comments or questions? Go ahead.
So is there any reason why it's all in caps?
I was just looking at that because I actually was going to go back to my office manager and find out.
Andrew's very, very enthusiastic.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought maybe
no,
you were
that was-
yelling at us.
No, yeah, I will get that corrected for next time.
Happens on our list.
No reason that I can think of.
I'll move it.
I have to apologize, I didn't hear what the question was.
Is there any reason it's all in caps?
Oh.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Your motion is carried. Next on the agenda is contract 1678-24. Department is residential healthcare facility. The vendor is mobile imaging. The estimated amount is $24,000. The estimated term is 5/1/24 to 4/30/25. The scope of service is to provide X-ray and ECG services prescribed by physician orders for residents of the Shaker Place Rehabilitation and Nursing Center, and is 100% county funded. Now open the floor for comments and questions.
So, Mr. Clerk, the residential healthcare facility has had a contract with Mobile Imaging for several years. This is currently, in the current contract, they just finished the initial 3-year term. There are 2 one-year extensions available on it for $24,000 per year. Anytime a resident falls or is having heart issues that a doctor feels could be benefited by a scan to see what's going on, either an X-ray or an electrocardiogram, they make the phone call. These guys come on site with all the equipment, do the X-rays right in the resident's room or in one of the common areas if needed. It's been a great relationship for north of a decade now.
Any other comments or questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention? Motion is carried.
Thank you very much.
Next on the agenda is contract number 1727-24. Department is aging. The vendor is Jewish Family Services of New England, New York. The estimated amount is $1,520.22. The estimated term is 1/1/23 through 12/31/23. And scope of service to Men Home Delivered Meal Contract to provide additional koshers, HDMs needed for older adults 60 and older that reside in Albany County. And this is 100% state funded. Open the floor. Comments or questions?
Thank you. My name is Pat Dillon. I'm with Department for Aging, and we have an amendment here for one of our home delivered meal providers. We have 4 of them total, just to give you a little bit of the structure. We have 4 HDM providers, and JFS being one of them. And JFS handles all of Albany County, but they provide our older adults with kosher meals. And so they went over the kosher meal contract by about roughly 190 meals. We RFP this annually, so I think that this year their award for 24 should cover the overage, but this is for 23. Main reason for this is the contractor feels that simply the client base is aging out. So, you have clients that are going to or utilizing our congregate meal program over at JCC, and now these guys are aging out and going into home delivered meals through JFS.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
So moved.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. Sorry.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstention? Motion's carried. Next on the agenda is contract 1728-24. Department is aging. The vendor is LifePath. The estimated amount is $1,986.75. The estimated term is 1/1/23 to 12/31/23. Scope of service: the contractor has to provide service to Albany County caregivers of older ages of 60 and older. Services provided include respite, counseling, training seminars, caregiver, telephone support groups. And this is broken down into 2 fiscal impacts: 25% to the county and 75% to the federal government.
So LifePath is one of 5 of our caregiver providers. And LifePath went over this contract. They do provide the stated providers, the services that you mentioned, but the one that they did go over is their respite, which is the SADS program. And they offer the social adult day services for older adults. They went over that, and the main reason for that is during the COVID pandemic, the emergency order shut the facilities down. And so during that 2-year period, it just kind of created a bottleneck and a surge of the services, so there was a backlog. So when the emergency order was lifted, there was a backlog of older adults that needed this service, so that's the reason why. We also RFP'd this past year, and the award for 24 should take care of the overage for 24.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Carried.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is Contract 1706-24. Department is the Preventive Assistance Program. Vendor St. Anne's Institute. The estimated amount is $50,000. The estimated term is 1/1/24 to 12/31/24. The scope of service is the provision of predispositional placement services for PINS youth for a daily per diem rate of $477, not to exceed $50,000, which we already heard. This again is broken into two fiscal impacts. The county is 23%, three fiscal impacts. The county is 23%, the state is 37%, and the federal is 40%. Open the floor for comments or questions.
Nicole Ward, Department for Children, Youth and Families. I'm the Deputy Commissioner. This is for youth who are in need of supervision. This is court-ordered. They do not come into the custody or care of the department. It's for youth when there is no other alternatives available, and we've exhausted all diversion services. And it's for a very short period of time. Can't exceed 3 days.
So where do they stay?
They would stay right at St.
At St.
Anne's.
Anne's.
So it's this contract's only for females. They would use either the shelter or the residential facility if the shelter's full.
And what does PINS stand for?
Persons in need of supervision.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and so there's legislation that these youth can't come into the care and custody or be placed, so it's very sparingly used.
All set?
All set.
Any other questions for her? Entertain a motion.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion's carried. And we have one final item for the agenda, and it's contract number 1746-24, Department of Human Resources. The vendor is Tyler Technologies. The estimated amount is $54,426. The estimated term is 3/8/24 through 12/31/25. And the scope of service is a purchase and implementation of the Human Resources Management Recruiting and Employee Access modules in Tyler Technologies, the county's financial and human resource system. And this is broken down into two fiscal impacts. The county will pay 2% and the federal government will pay 98%. Open the floor for comments or questions.
Good afternoon, everybody. Pat Alderson, Deputy Commissioner, Management and Budget. So I'm presenting this item on behalf of the Division of Information Services. Division of Information Services maintains the county's contract with Tyler Technologies for Munis, which is our enterprise resource planning system. So back in early February, HR, IT, and a couple folks in management and budget sat through an investment assessment with Tyler Technologies. Pretty much we wanted to learn a little bit more about business processes and how we could better use technologies to better administer HR in the county. It was determined that one of the biggest things that we could do was to purchase and implement a module which would assist us with recruiting, so externally facing recruiting, as well as employee self-service, which is intended to assist with onboarding full-time employees. So currently, people are coming in for pre-employment orientation, otherwise known as PEO. This, adding on this module to Munis would allow HR to kind of move in the direction where all of those kind of documentation exchanges, pre-employment orientation that happened could kind of happen before an employee started, so they wouldn't need to do that in person, and then employees would also be able to access pay stubs, W-2s, things of that nature online through a portal. The cost of this implementation is $54,000, 426 cents. There will be a recurring cost of $16,506, but that will be budgeted in information service budgets moving forward.
Any other comments or questions? Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion is carried. Thank you for presenting that on behalf of Information Services.
Can I ask a question?
Sure can.
So So, there's no like lower threshold for things that the cab has to, I mean, we approved two that were like under $2,000.
So you have to go back to your authorizing authority. So if the original contract went to cab, then you go back to cab.
So the original one was done last year in 2023, so that's why they brought it back to us for that small amount.
So there's no
No amendments.
mechanism for us to fix that so that we give the authority to the commissioners?
There's a mechanism for
That's a
you.
chart, that would be a charter
Okay,
amendment.
so that's a legislative change?
It would be a charter amendment.
All right, a charter change, because it seems like whatever your hourly rate is, you wasted a lot of time. $4,000 worth of contract changes. It just seems pretty much a waste of time for you. I
we're all
mean, you're
very-
here anyway, but,
And thank you, Pat.
It's a pleasure coming down to
And you also
sure
drove
it
down
is,
here.
but I'm sure you have plenty of things
Thank
to
you,
occupy
Chairwoman.
your time,
It's very nice.
right?
Oh, we have to.
Yeah, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the Contract Administration Board meeting at 4:25 PM.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Contract Administration Board meeting is adjourned.